If you own a pressure washing business and you are not already ranking #1 in the Map Pack, in the Google Map Pack section of Google, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do that with no money. I'm going to give it to you all right here in today's video. Also, really quickly, only 19% of you that watch the videos on here on my channel are subscribed. I would greatly appreciate it if you guys would consider subscribing, as all of this content that I put out for you is absolutely free and it really helps the channel grow. But jumping right into it, you want to rank higher in the Google Map Packs, and I really want to help you out. But before we get into me telling you exactly what goes into ranking and how you can actually positively impact your Google Map Pack ranking, it is important to understand where you actually rank, and it's important to use an external tool for this, because the way that the ranking system works is primarily based on distance, which means that if you are sitting on your couch and you type in pressure washing company near me, and you're sitting at your business address, it's likely that you're going to show up #1. And I hear this happen all the time. Guys will call me and they'll say, Sean, I'm already ranked #1 in my Map Pack, and I tell them to drive 10 miles in the other direction and make that same search, and you probably won't show up. So a really good tool for this is actually Local Falcon, and I will drop a link to that tool down in the description. It's pretty cheap. It's like 10 bucks or 15 bucks a month. But what the tool allows for you to do is you can search for your business and then type in a keyword and press enter, and it'll pop up a grid. Some of you have probably seen this. Marketers like to share this information all the time, but it'll show you a little grid with little dots on it, and it will show you what your rank is for that specific keyword. And it's important that you do this, because the other thing that I hear so often is, you know, hey Sean, I'm ranked #1 in my Map Pack, and my next question is, well, what are you ranked for, right? Because there's more than just one keyword. You likely just typed in pressure washing company, but what about power washing company? What about gutter cleaning company? What about gutter cleaning company Cleveland, assuming that you have a business in Cleveland? You get the idea. So what Local Falcon allows for you to do is it allows for you to not only see a non-biased rank of where you stand, but for several keywords. And the other reason you really want to use this tool is because, kind of like I briefly explained, the Google Map Pack, one of the biggest ranking factors is distance. So, you know, obviously, you know, when you make a search, depending on where you are when you make that search, the rank is going to change. So saying that you're ranked #1 or #10, you're like, man, I'm only ranked #10. Well, you know, if you go 2 miles in the other direction, you might be #2, right? So using a tool like this gives you a better understanding of what you truly are ranking for. So that kind of ties into one of the biggest tips that goes into the ranking factors of a Google My Business, if you haven't already understood this, and it is distance. And it's honestly one of the biggest downsides and shortcomings of the Google Map Pack. I know it's kind of like one of those things for a lot of people that's like the all-coveted Map Pack. I really want to rank in the Map Pack. But the problem with the Map Pack is it is distance-based. So there are a lot of variables that you cannot control. A prime example of this is that here where I live, if I type in pressure washing company near me, the company that shows up #1 in the Map Pack only has 2 Google reviews, but the reason that they show up #1 is because they're only like 3 or 4 blocks away. And this is something that's important, because I know a lot of you probably, there are neighborhoods and pockets in your service area that you'd really like to do business in where the homes are much, much larger. If your business is located, you know, more than 10, 15, 20 miles away, it would be very rare that your business is going to show up when those homeowners in those neighborhoods make those searches, because the limitation is really about 15 to 20 miles. Now, while this is a shortcoming, that is kind of what SEO is for, right? So that little section under the Map Pack. So that would be where, you know, on your website, you have a location page that, you know, is titled for that particular neighborhood, and then you rank up that specific page. But I'm not going to get into SEO and search engine optimization in this video. It's all about the Map Pack, but I briefly wanted to explain that. The reason that this is something important to bring up to you guys is because there are a lot of companies out there, a lot of agencies out there that are selling some kind of Google business profile optimization ranking service. Here's what I will say about that. My company does not offer anything like that, and the reason for that is because the most important factors that go into ranking your Google business profile are pretty much uncontrollable. There are things that agencies and companies and yourself can do to help, but the weight is very small and it's very negligible. And what I mean by this, an example of this, is there's a strategy where you can geotag your photos in a location that you want to make sure that you show up in. Basically, this is, let's say you're going to post a before and after picture of a concrete cleaning. You can put that through a tool on your computer, and it will put metadata on your image so that when you upload that image to your Google business profile, Google will be able to see where that image was actually taken, right? So you can kind of spoof the system. So you could geotag your photos in a location location that they weren't actually taken. Now this does help your Google business ranking, but I say that, but the weight is so small in comparison to all of the things that are really uncontrollable. So, you know, I think it's an important distinction. And again, I'm not here to crap on other companies. Maybe there is something that I don't know. I've done extensive research on this topic. Obviously, marketing in pressure washing is a huge deal for me. And all of the research that I've done over the years, I have not seen anything that shows a noticeable impact for the most part for doing all of these things. So with that being said, you know, again, one of the biggest ranking factors is distance, and it's not controllable. But let's get into kind of what is controllable, and I'm going to talk about the tangible tips right now. First and foremost, one of the biggest ranking factors for showing up in the map pack is, does the keyword that you're trying to go after, does it appear in your business name? I'll give you a prime example of this. So let's say your business name is Pristine Ultra Clean, but you're trying to rank for pressure washing companies or pressure washing companies in Cleveland, assuming you're in Cleveland. You're going to have a little bit harder of a time ranking the map pack because that keyword is not in your business title. It doesn't mean you can't rank, but it does make it a little bit more difficult. It's the reason that if you go to Google right now and you type in Domino's or you type in Papa John's, you will notice that their business name on their Google business profile is Papa John's Pizza or Domino's Pizza, but their official business name is just Domino's and Papa John's. But the reason that they put pizza there is because people go and they look for pizza places near me, right? So having that keyword in the title absolutely helps you out. So if you don't have pressure washing in your name, I would suggest that you add it. There are other words that you could have, such as roof cleaning, gutter cleaning, power washing, things like that. But guys, honestly, the search volume for the keyword pressure washing is like 20x to 1 against power washing, roof cleaning. So even if your company is, you know, Cleveland Roof Cleaning, I would still put Cleveland Roof Cleaning and pressure washing because, you know, as you're aware, a lot of homeowners, they look at their house and they don't think they need house washing. They think they need pressure washing company. The same thing's true for most of the other services. So I would absolutely add pressure washing to your business name on Google Business. The second ranking factor that goes into your map pack ranking is distance, and I'm not going to beat a dead horse here. You kind of get the idea. Here's what I will say about distance is if you haven't created a Google business profile yet, when it comes time to make your Google business profile, try to set the business address somewhere that is closer to where you would like to do business. Now, obviously, you can only do this if you have a friend or a family member, a relative, or something like that who lives in that area that Google can send a postcard to verify. Right? Now, what I will say is if you already have a Google business profile, one of the things you can do is you can create a secondary location and put that address, you know, set up a virtual office or something like that in a location where you really want to do business. So a prime example of this, again, is, you know, if you type in Walmart into Google, you're not just going to see one Walmart. You're likely going to see 2 or 3 different Walmarts. You can do the exact same thing, but it requires that you have access to an address of where you want to get your second location put. Now for the good part. Obviously, like I said, for the most part, the top 2 things that go into the ranking factors are really things you can't really control. Is the keyword in your business name and the distance that someone is from your business address. Now, the third thing that goes into it, and it's one of the most weighted things that you can control, is the amount and quality of your Google reviews. And this is honestly the pinnacle of this video. You know, if you really want to rank up in the Google Map Packs and you want to make it your main focus, get more reviews like your life depends on it. You know, I would really, you know, depending on where you're at in the stage of your business, if you don't have a lot of money to invest in things like SEO, Google ads, Facebook ads, and you're kind of scrappy and you're just getting started, I would do everything in my power to make sure that every single customer leaves me a Google review, and I would get creative on how I get them. A couple of things that I would recommend for you guys is I would do things like discounts in exchange for Google reviews. I would do, like, let's say you're doing a house wash, throw in a sidewalk cleaning in exchange for a Google review. And if you're if you're a real hustler and you really want to get after it, one of the best strategies that I know a lot of big companies have used when they first got started was going door to door in their neighborhood, not selling. That's a very important distinction, but instead introducing their business and offering to do something for free in exchange for a Google review. Something along the lines of like, hey, my name's Sean. I'm with Pristine Ultra Clean. I'm a new pressure washing company in town. I'm not here to sell you anything, but I would love to wash your sidewalk absolutely free. All that I ask is, you know, that you leave us an honest Google review. You do that, you know, 20 times a week, or let's go on the lower side, right? Like, let's be realistic. Let's say you did it like 7 times a week. Well, in the course of a month, you're going to get what, almost 30 reviews, and in 2 months you'll have 60 Google reviews, and it costs you nothing to do that. And in most markets, 60 reviews is enough to put you at the top of the map pack. So, you know, and obviously you know what happens if you show up number 1 on your map pack. So those are really the 3 biggest things that it comes into ranking your Google business profile higher in the map pack. And like I said, the most controllable thing that you can control is your Google reviews. Now, there are a few other things that I do want to mention that don't have nearly the weight, but there's some things that you can do if you really want to turn the dial a little bit more, that I want to get into really quickly before this video is over. And the first of these 3 tips is make sure that every single service that you offer is listed in your Google business profile, and more importantly, you have filled out the 300 character description limit. So when you're on your Google business profile, you can list all of the services that you offer, so be very in detail. And what I mean by this is, if you offer concrete cleaning, also put concrete cleaning, put driveway cleaning, put sidewalk cleaning, put patio cleaning. Like, get in detail with this when you go listing your services, right? You know, vinyl house wash, brick house wash, things like that. And then make sure that they give you 300 characters that you can kind of describe the service. Make sure that you fill out every single one of those descriptions, because that is also going to help you. The second thing that you're going to want to do to kind of help out with the ranking is make sure that you are responding to every single Google review very quickly. Good review or bad review, it doesn't matter. If it's a bad review, my suggestion is just say something along the lines of like, someone from our team will be in touch soon to resolve this. Even if there's, you know, some animosity and you're not going to just whatever the case may be, just make sure that you're responding to your reviews. And the reason is that Google will reward you because of this, because, you know, if somebody takes time out of their day to leave a review on Google, Google wants that person to have a good interaction. So by you responding, it's kind of creating that conversation, and Google really likes that. So make sure you are responding very quickly to all of your Google reviews. And the last thing that you can do is make sure that you have your service areas set properly. There is an option in the settings where you can punch in your service areas. You can do this by typing in like the cities and suburbs and townships and things that you service. Make sure that you take a good hard look at that, and that you put in all of that information accurately. But for the most part, guys, I mean, that's basically it. Like I said, you know, there is not a lot else you can do. You can look up these ranking factors that go into the list, and I've listed the 6 most important ones that have the most weight. There are other things that you can do, but I just didn't talk about them because they don't have that much weight. I mean, we're talking very minuscule numbers here. So I really hope that this video helps you guys out. If you have any questions about your map pack or anything of the sort, feel free to drop a comment below and I will respond to it, and I will catch you guys in the next video.